What if telling the truth made everyone in the room angry? Stephen was about to speak anyway.
Discipleship, hey, calling us to follow, not just
Stephen stood before the council, falsely accused and surrounded by powerful men. But instead of simply defending himself, he began telling God's story. Stephen began with Abraham. He reminded them that God called Abraham by grace, made him a promise, and began a plan much bigger than one nation. Then Stephen reminded them of Joseph. Joseph was rejected by his own brothers, but God was still working through his suffering to save many lives. Stephen moved to Moses, the deliverer God raised up for Israel, but even Moses was rejected at first by the very people God sent him to rescue. Again and again, Stephen showed the same pattern. The people resisted God's messengers, yet God remained faithful to his promise. Stephen reminded them that God is not contained by man-made places. The Lord of heaven and earth has always been greater than buildings, rituals, and traditions. Then Stephen spoke directly to the council. He told them they were resisting the Holy Spirit, just like their ancestors had done before them. Stephen reminded them that their fathers had rejected the prophets. Now they had rejected Jesus, the righteous one God had promised. The truth cut deeply because Stephen exposed what they refused to see. They knew the law, but they had rejected the one it pointed to. Stephen teaches us that God's truth must be proclaimed faithfully, even when it is unpopular, uncomfortable, and costly.
Stephen knew the truth would make people angry, but he spoke it anyway. God still calls his people to stand for Christ. Stay faithful, stand firm, and I'll see you tomorrow as we continue our journey through Acts.
the broken roads get straightened, and the restless heart finds peace. Fear starts losing ground.